Part two, live from Stop and Shop online pickup, because I am a bougie bitch and I don't pay, I pay membership to get my groceries brought to my car. Now, anybody could do it, you just pay a fee, but mine's come with my, it used to be Peepaw, because I'm an old bitch, my Peepaw membership. Anywho, day before Thanksgiving, getting my last bit of incidentals, the plantation was nice enough to let us get out early. And part two to my fertility journey. So where we at? Okay. I get inseminated. It was a painless, easy procedure, kind of like getting a pap smear. They do put the syringe. That's when I'm gonna use it, because I'm not a doctor. I did one semester at Hunter College to be a nurse. They put the syringe past your uterus, and that's where most of the uncomfortability comes from. Because I ain't used to having nobody touch my cervix. That is so gross. There is such thing as being too big, by the way. But anyway, the syringe goes past the vagina, because it's not. This is the vulva, right? What y'all used to seeing is the vulva. So it goes in the vaginal canal, past the cervix, up into the uterus, and it gets as close as it needs to go to the fallopian tubes where the egg is waiting. In my case, it was eggs. Okay, so they could see I had 3 bursted cysts. 2 on the left side, 1 on the right side, which means I had released 3 eggs. And I was given the disclaimer that it is possible that all 3 can fertilize. Very, very highly unlikely, but more than 1 could fertilize. They said, fuck it, let's go. I can handle me some triplets. I'm a big girl. But go, I get it done. Don't do nothing for 2 weeks. Go have sex. Do that. I don't like surprises, and I don't like to wait. If you give me a Christmas present, I would like for you to present it to me the day that you buy it, or just don't tell me you got my present. Because if you tell me you got my present, I cannot wait. I've always been that way. Don't give me no surprise parties. And if you say I got your present and it's not Christmas, then don't tell me. If you ain't gonna give it to me, then don't fucking tell me, right? I did everything in my power to keep the universe happy and everything in balance. I did not test. I waited, get my 2 weeks, get my blood work, go to work. We're going to call you with the results. If we don't call you by 12 o'clock or 4 o'clock or what have you, call us. I ain't get no call. I call them. Oh, let me look it up. Oh, you pregnant? Okay, thank you. I go buy tests from CVS. And I take it to the Chinese restaurant where I'm going to have my lunch, and I pee on the stick, and it's positive. First person I call is my mama. Didn't even call the man that helped get me pregnant. Call my mama. Then I tell my husband. And then in 2 weeks after that, so now a month has passed, they said you're going to go get your... So a month since I've been inseminated, right? 2 weeks since I found out I was pregnant. I am technically now a month pregnant. All right. I'm going to go and look. I go get a ultrasound. Now I'm a fat bitch with a big belly, so it has to be an internal ultrasound. They put that wand in your cooter. It's not over the belly, especially when you're so early on in your pregnancy. I do that. Now, I am a WebMD Google doctor. I already know what to look out for, what I should see, yada, yada, yada. They see the little bubble in my uterus and a big white thing. I already know that big white thing is not the baby. That big white thing is the egg yolk, like a goddamn chicken. So we really all do start out the same, okay? It's a big old yolk. That's what the baby feeds on until it can make its own attachment to you and start feeding off of you. There's a little tiny little white blip thing, a fraction of the size of the egg yolk. That is the baby. So they see it, they're measuring it, they do all kind of clicking and measuring and da 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 da. She's like, okay, it's there. You have the baby, yada yada yada. These are the measurements. You're measuring at this amount of time. That's good. Blah blah blah. She goes to pull out the wand, and we see another blip. Now we all see it, and I go, what was that? And she goes, She goes, she looks, she's not saying anything. She said, there's another one in there. Now, we wanted a baby, okay? When that's the saying, when that stick turned blue, when I found out I was pregnant, I was already on Target, Walmart.com, baby, but looking at baby seats and this and that. I already know I wanted a Dooney, which is a baby car seat. If you know, it is a car seat and it has wheels, so it turns into a stroller. You don't got to take the baby in, and I already saw that, saw how much it was, but it was like $700 at the time. I wanted that. All this stuff I'm looking up for my baby, okay? So there's another one in there. Do the measurements. There are two of them. Now, my husband's not saying a word. My husband is there. He's at the appointment. Shout out to my baby daddy husband, who's only missed one prenatal appointment. Two prenatal appointments, and I was high risk. I was going every 2 weeks. You only missed two. And the second one, my mama wanted to go. So I got pregnant like around when you can only bring one, and my mama wanted to go. So you technically only missed one. One my mama wanted to go to. But anyway, he was there, not saying anything, measuring two. Hey, there's two in there. We get to talk. Not uncommon. One is measuring smaller than the other. But by the time you come back here in another month, it's not going to be there. I want you to be prepared for that. Okay. My husband, we leave the appointment. I'm putting on my clothes. I'm talking to him. He's not saying anything to me. He's just looking stoic. Go to leave. He hands me his credit card and leaves. No goodbye, nothing. Because I have a copay to pay. He's been there with me enough times. Every time I go there, got to pay the copay. He hands me the copay, he leaves. I call him. He doesn't answer the phone. Okay, maybe he's using the phone for GPS. Call my mother. I have the conversation with my mother, yada, yada, yada. My husband has called his best friend during the workday. His best friend thought something happened to me. No, we was going through this, right? To vent to him that is twins, 2 car seats, 2 strollers, 2 cribs, 2 sets of clothing, 2 colleges. This is what this man is saying. His friend is just cracking up. You got this, man. We only got a 2-bedroom apartment. I'm having 2. It's twins. Da, 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 da. He ain't happy. He's stressing the entire fuck out. He's stressed out. Okay. We go there for the month appointment. I'm fine. I'm taking my prenatals. We haven't told anybody yet, except for my mom and my husband and his friend now. Everything, yada, yada, yada. It's still there. Still there, and it's growing. The yolk sac is getting smaller as the actual fetus baby thing is growing. Starts to measure. Okay, I go there for a couple of months until the babies start looking like tadpoles. All right, your baby is looking like a tadpole. We're going to discharge you from the fertility doctor, and then you can go to a regular high risk. I needed to go to a high risk OB obstetrician. Got to be high risk because I was high risk. So I find high risk one. I go. I introduce myself. Yada yada. Oh, before that, I'm missing out so much. When the twin baby didn't dissolve, it was suggested to me to reduce the fetuses, to reduce the small one, which was baby B, which was my son. I didn't know the genders because I'm old, advanced maternal age. Now, if I was carrying one baby at 34 years old, I would have been regular. Advanced maternal age for a singleton, which is one baby, does not start until 36. However, when you have multiples, it is 34. When you have twins, it's 34. When you have triplets, it's 33, and so on. I was morbidly obese, according to their paperwork. Advanced maternal age, although I did not have any health conditions besides the PCOS, which is just really something to look at. No high blood pressure, no diabetes, just fat and old. Go to the iris doctor. I have to go to the doctor every 2 weeks. I have to have an ultrasound every 2 weeks. Now, I looked up the dangers of having ultrasounds. Apparently, they're radio waves, so it was fine. We don't know the long-term damage. My son is a bit kooky, but I don't think that has anything to do with the ultrasound. But anyway, I have to go every 2 weeks, which is kind of fun, which then takes the steam and the worry off, because you see and listen to your baby's heartbeat every 2 weeks. You 2 weeks know that they're still alive and they're still there. So I do that every 2 weeks. They test me up the wahoo, drinking that nasty sugar shit for diabetes. It's like, I mean, I kept feeling at one point like, y'all want me to have diabetes, because why y'all keep testing me for diabetes? But I get it. My resume, I'm supposed to have it, and it can kill you. You get diabetes or preeclampsia, it could kill you and kill the babies. But most importantly, it could kill you. As you can have a stroke, all this shit, right? So yes, I get why they keep testing me. So after they suggested that we take one down, talk to my mother about it, talk to my husband about it, my mother said, you could do this. You could do this. You could do this. And I said, fuck yeah, I could do this. How much weight can you gain? Conservatively, Nicole, based on your weight and everything, really no weight, but that is unrealistic, 20 pounds. Now, I know people had one baby that gained more than that. My mama said she gained 50 or 80 pounds. My friends gained 50 pounds, 60 pounds with one baby. My ass carrying twins, based on my weight, should only gain 20 pounds. I only gained 12, bitch. Check that tea, okay? So anyway, I do all of this, go to my appointments. Everything's fine. Everything stayed fine. I worked. I didn't have any complications in my pregnancy. I don't know how, if you're a believer, was it God? Was it good genetics? I don't know. The only craving I had in my pregnancy was everything bagels toasted with scallion cream cheese and McDonald's fish fillet sandwiches. A squirt of extra tartar. Now, I am not a mayonnaise-based person. If I ever order a hero, it is light mayonnaise. I just want you to just lightly smear the bread on one side. That is how much I am not a fan of mayonnaise. But somehow I wanted extra tartar on these fish sandwiches. That is the only thing, my only indulgence. I didn't even take my allergy medication. I didn't take one Tylenol. Now, I have scoliosis implantation surgery. I have rods and screws in my spine that has a weight limit. I am, at the time, 80 to 100 pounds over the weight limit to maintain my spine. I had really no pain, no sciatica pain. Towards the end of my pregnancy, it was very hard to breathe, just to breathe. And it wasn't from like lung issues and stuff. Your lungs get pushed out of the way. It was very hard to breathe and very hard to sleep, could not get comfortable. But that was the last couple of months of the pregnancy. Had no complications. The baby B, which is my son, always measured small. Always measured small. The end of my pregnancy, they switched it to once a month. Once I hit 34 weeks or something like that, okay, you don't have to come every 2 weeks anymore. You're out of the danger zone. I didn't go for a month because I wasn't scheduled to. my son was shrinking. Now I'm 36 weeks and some days. I remember it. I go on a Thursday. He's measuring small. We need to take him out. We're going to schedule you for Monday. Take them out. Measure the lungs. You're far along. You don't have to take anything. His lungs, his placenta is pretty much failing. The blood flow is not good in the placenta. The news is devastating to me. I said, I got to go in the hospital Monday. I'm not coming back to work. I've already put in my leave. All that was set up. I already put in my leave. I go 8 o'clock. Oh, to make myself feel better, Friday I don't go to work. I go to the hairdresser. I remember that. I go to the hairdresser. And I get a wash and set and blow dry and have them wrap it. Because that's how I was going to have my hair for delivery, wrapped in pins. Made me feel better. I go to the hospital. The hospital that was chosen for me is a level 3 NICU. The highest in the country is Morgan Stanley Children's Hospital. Full disclaimer, needs renovating. Old as shit looking, best in the country. Put me there. Okay? My birth plan was vaginal. Vaginal birth. That was my birth plan. I go there. Before that, see this mouth? Apparently that's small. That is a small mouth. I had to go see a specialist on putting shit in my mouth in case I had to go for an emergency C-section and if they could do it. That's one reason why Morgan Stanley was chosen for me instead of Lawrence Hospital. It's not Lawrence anymore. By the time it was Lawrence in Bronxville. So apparently I met with the anesthesiologist who said, yeah, I could do it. She was hot shit. Yeah, your mouth is small, but if anything happens, I'm going to be in the room with you. No worry. I'll get that breathing tube down your throat. Don't worry. Okay. I had to meet with her for that. I also had to meet with an epidural specialist because of the rods and shit in my spine. I met with her virtually. She is not, she works the East Coast area. She is East Coast, right? That's why they didn't bring me in the next day. She had to be called in, and she was coming in on Monday to be at that hospital. My own obstetrician wasn't even going to be there for Monday. It was another doctor that delivered my babies, but we didn't want to wait. I didn't want to wait for her. I wanted it out. The only people I was worried about was the epidural person. She's going to be there on Monday. Let's go on Monday. She said, we could wait till Tuesday. I'm on call on Tuesday. I said, no, thank you. I'm not risking it. Whatever. I don't really need you to deliver my baby. I just need somebody to deliver my baby. The most important person is the anesthesiologist because I'm going to try vaginal. Of course, when you have twins or multiples, they want to default you to a C-section. I'm not opposed to C-sections. My village is small, damn near zero. My mother was still working at the time. You cannot lift when you have a C-section. How the hell was I going to take care of kids alone with a C-section? At the time, I didn't know that my sister-in-law offered her services. She stayed with us for 2 weeks. But at the time of me creating my birth plan, it was just going to be alone by myself for 2 babies. My mother was still working. I don't have any sisters, no real cousins. It's just me. My husband had to work because he was offsetting his paternity leave to cover childcare, to mitigate childcare costs. We have twins. So that's why I wanted it to do vaginal. Okay. I do it. I get epiduralized. I don't know the word. I get my epidural. They tried so many times. Morgan Stanley's a teaching hospital. I get it. They had the kids try. I call them the kids because everybody looked like Doogie Howser. And then the old bitch stepped in and it was like, I'll do it. And she got it through. She tapped me. It worked. I labored. They gave me whatever that is to start your labor. Did it. A couple hours later. Now, mind you, you cannot eat and you can't really drink in case you have to have emergency surgery. I am weak, tired, hungry. My husband bought a smoothie and he's giving me little capfuls of the smoothie just so I can have some sugar. If you're having surgery, they want your stomach to be empty. I could not do it. So I was just dying. So they're giving me capfuls of smoothie, which was like gold. Okay. So I get that. Anyway, I start crowning. Now, mind you, I am dead from the waist down. I can't feel shit. They said, let me check your cervix. When they go to check my cervix, they tell me to push. They look. There is a black head of hair. Okay? She said, oh, there's a black head. She said, let's see. Let's try to push. She goes to lift me up. I push. Am I pushing? She goes, there's a head full of black hair. Rush me into, throw stuff at Eli. That's my husband's name. Throw stuff at Eli. Put this on. Roll me into the delivery room. They tell me to start pushing. I go, where's my husband? My poor husband is waiting outside of the room, waiting to get ushered in. They forgot about his ass. They forgot about him. He's waiting to get ushered into the room. I'm pushing. He's in the room. I'm pushing. My daughter comes out. Easy peasy. According to me, it was easy peasy. I didn't feel nothing with her. She comes out screaming. Screaming. Ah! She comes out screaming. It's a girl. She's baby A because she was at the bottom. The baby at the cervix is A. Now, they did tell me if my son turns. Now, my daughter was faced in the correct position. Head, face, everything. She was in the correct position. She came out. My son now, she comes out. This motherfucker turns. He turns. Oh, we might have to give you a C-section. Oh, all right. Do whatever you got to do. We'll just wait. We can wait. They're monitoring him. Something happens. 4 minutes. I'm just chilling. I'm waiting. We're going to see if he turns. They're going to try to do massaging to get him to move around. The doctor is with me as far as my birth plan. She think I could do it. She said the great thing is the bigger baby is at the bottom, which is going to make the smaller baby easier to come out. Oh my God, I'm talking. I don't know. Can y'all even hear me? I didn't even put this in. I hope y'all could hear me. Which makes the smaller baby easier to come out. So after 4 minutes, shit starts beeping real bad. So I go, well, should I? And she comes back. She's all in my vagina. She's looking at monitors and stuff. And so I go, should I push? And she goes calmly, no, I have to do an extraction. I don't know what the fuck that means. Before I know, this woman is elbow, grabs my son by his head, pulls him to the birth canal, pulls him, his head pops through, and then they're able to gently grab his head and get him out. They get him out, they throw him up here. He's quiet, he's blue. I could see he's blue. He's quiet and he's blue. They put him here, they wait about 5 seconds, yank him off. I'm looking at my husband, I don't hear nothing. I don't hear anything. And my husband's like, he's just rubbing me. I don't hear nothing, I don't hear nothing. No crying, no nothing. I hear slapping, no crying. I can hear them rubbing, no crying. I see them lifting him up, doing all of that. Then he starts crying. Oh, Thank God. Thank your God. He's crying. Now, I know I'm a non-believer. I say thank God, but that is an expression to me because that is part of my growing up. You say thank God, but thank the universe, thank whoever. He is breathing. He's crying and he's breathing. Okay. They wrap him up, they clean him up, they give him to me. I only get to hold him for 15, 20 minutes in recovery. They have to take him away. He cannot regulate his own blood sugar. His blood sugar is dropping. And but anyway, before that, the first placenta comes out fine. That's my daughter's placenta. The second placenta is not coming out. It has already detached. So if you know anything about placentas, it's like having another labor. Your uterus starts to contract. You could feel it. You could feel the labor. You could feel the pressure, and it comes out. So I labored the first placenta, and then the second one, she had to take it out. She said it's in pieces. They have to take it out, and then they have to match the pieces like a jigsaw puzzle. Okay, we got all the pieces. She in there scraping. That was the most painful thing ever. You could see, my husband said he could see her hand like this, moving around, making sure, look, it looks like this, making sure she gets everything out. That was the most painful part. But I get it. She want me to have a good, nice clean because you can get an infection and you can get very sick if they don't get it all out. She said it came out in 3 pieces. She had all 3 pieces. It fits. It went on to be tested. His placenta has started failing. But anyway, that's why he was losing weight. So anyway, one baby is 6 pounds. My daughter, baby A, baby B, my son is 4 pounds. He stayed in the NICU for a day and a half. They both came home with me. He was able to regulate his blood sugar. He's always been the smaller kid. He's still the smaller kid. Yada, yada, yada. Still the smallest kid. I blamed myself for a long time on the placenta. Come to find out when I did some research, that is something that's passed on to the father. It is a genetic situation, not the mom. I blame myself because I found comfort towards my end of the pregnancy laying on my left side or right side, whatever side they tell you not to lay on, that is the side I laid on because that's where I felt the most comfort. So I blame myself because of that. And it's a genetic thing. So his daddy did it to him, not me. Anywho, to answer your question, mystery emailer, even though mystery emailer, you are getting close to 34. You are not in the situation that I am in as far as having a spouse and a ready donor. Here is my suggestion. Freeze your eggs. Invest in yourself. A lot of insurance does not cover the cost of freezing eggs. Spend that money. Get as many eggs as you can extracted and frozen. Do not wait. Do that now. You have a man that you're talking to, y'all are dating, but you are not serious. He does not have to know. Get that done. Get it done. You don't want to be 40 and you cannot extract and freeze your eggs. And now you are trying to get pregnant with a decrease in your fertility because of your age. Just get it done. Get it frozen. If you don't use them, that's great. They are just eggs. They are not embryos. Do not get them fertilized. Just get the eggs extracted and frozen. And that is your security. That is your savings account. If it works out with this man and you get pregnant, that is great. You have 2 or 3 kids, that is fine. You can discard eggs. We discard an egg every month. It's just an egg. It's not an embryo. So you don't have that religious aspects of having embryos fertilized. And if you believe in that, then that is a person, that is a baby. And if you don't use them, there's no guilt. These are eggs. Get them frozen. Okay? And if you don't use them, that is great. If you have to use them 40 plus, that is fine. Also, my suggestion, be very prepared that it is an option that you might not find the type of spouse that you are looking for. The dating pool has pee and poo in it. It is garbage. You are a highly educated, highly independent, highly successful Black woman. Your options are low. You are perfect on paper, but your options decrease as far as what you're looking for. The older you get, the less likely you're going to find it. I am totally with you to want a man that doesn't have children because you don't have children. You are in your right. But early 30s, where we live in, the area we live in, it's going to be hard to find. You want the 666? That is hard to find. 6 figures, 6 feet, 6-inch dick minimum? That is hard to find. Not saying you're not going to find it, but be mentally prepared to when you get to 40, 42, single, you might want to fertilize that egg and start your motherhood journey alone. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you don't want to be 42 with no male prospects, no children, trying to get pregnant at 42 with these eggs. You want the youngest eggs as possible. So you want these eggs now. You don't want to use 42-year-old eggs. And yes, they are 42-year-old eggs because you are born with all the eggs you are going to have. You want to try to fertilize the youngest eggs as possible. You don't want to try to fertilize 42-year-old eggs. Also, fertility decreases every single year exponentially after the age of 35. That is not an opinion. That is a fact. That is a fact. Invest the money in yourself and freeze your eggs. That is my suggestion to you. If I did not have a partner, guarantee you before the age of 35, I would have froze eggs without a doubt. I don't care what kind of loan I had to take out. And you can use the lending club if you need to borrow money. Lending club, patient solutions. They do the loans for your medical treatments. If you've ever had dental work and you needed to pay for it, they are the ones to pay for it. If you want to get plastic surgery, they're the company. I think if you pay within a year, it's interest free. That is an option. I know about it because I've gone for consultations to get plastic surgery, and that is the company I would have used. I use them now because I've had dental work done. My husband has had dental work done. And although we did have the funds to pay for that out of pocket, why not do 12 months interest free? Why not? So that's what I do. I make sure it's paid off within the 12 months and I basically got a free loan. Do that. Please, please. I implore you, just freeze your eggs. I don't know how much it costs because I didn't get to that point. I sought fertility treatment when I was 33 and I got pregnant and got pregnant. So fertility treatment started at 33, consultation, appointments, testing. Also, what I failed to say is we both got genetic testing at the request of our fertility specialist to make sure we didn't have any overlapping genetic issues. Because if we did have a trait of a carrier or we were dominant in something, they would not suggest IUI. It would be IVF because all of those embryos are genetic tested. Right. So if I was getting close to 35 and although we had said that we wasn't going to have children, I definitely would have saw a doctor and saw my options as freezing eggs to then maybe have to get a surrogate. Right. And I would have went that route. But thank goodness I didn't have to. Please freeze your eggs. If you want to know where I went to my fertility specialist, although the doctor that worked for me or worked with me is no longer in that practice, It is a very popular, well-known practice. Um, it is not cheap. They do take insurance, but they are popular and expensive for a reason. They have very good success rates. Also, another option is to go outside the country. People go outside of the country for hair plugs and teeth. People go to Turkey to get their teeth done and get hair plugs, and go to Dominican Republic for plastic surgery, and Mexico for plastic surgery. There is fertility treatment options outside the country. Another popular one is Barbados fertility treatment. Actually, the country of Barbados is very popular for fertility treatments. Who knew? That's an option for you. You can go over there, get an egg extraction, and have them frozen over there, and have them fertilized over there, and get inseminated over there, and fly back and have your baby over here. There are options. I'm definitely willing to share that with you. Just shoot me another email. Also, anybody watching this, please, 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 let's help get rid of the stigma of fertility. We are of the generation, if you are a Zennial like me, where we microwaved in plastic with BPAs. If you ever ate free or reduced lunch and you went for breakfast and they gave you those banana nut muffins, they damn sure nuked them to give you a nice warm meal in the morning with that fucking plastic melted on it. We ate our lunch out of styrofoam. They put piping hot food in styrofoam, which ate away from the styrofoam. If you ever got 4 chicken wings and pork fried rice, or 4 chicken wings and french fries, they put that food straight out of the oil in that styrofoam, drenched it in Hunt's ketchup and hot sauce, and closed it. And by the time you got home, that styrofoam was melted all over your food and you ate it. We were poisoned. It is not uncommon, and it's not beyond belief, that we're going to have metabolic, physical problems, especially when it comes to fertility. We drank quarter waters. We drank tropical fantasies. We ate red dye number 40. Our food was trash. Our milk and food and chicken and eggs had hormones in it. Our pork had hormones in it. Let's get rid of the stigma of having to go for help for fertility. It's okay. It is okay. I did it. And I will always talk about it freely and openly, because I'm not ashamed. And it's not a flex that my IUI worked and I got one of each. I'm an anomaly. And I don't know what I did to deserve what I got. I don't know. That's why I will always be an advocate, and I will always talk about fertility. And if you need somebody to talk to, if you need me to take you, bitch, I will take you. It's okay. And if you don't have a man, that's okay too. You could do it by yourself. It's not ideal, but I don't think motherhood and fertility should be on halted because the dating pool is trash. Okay? That's my advice. I will definitely shoot me an email and let me and tell, okay, I'm ready to start my journey. What do I need to do? I've done the research, so you don't have to.